everybody. So if I can bring you down onto your mat, okay. I've got the window open today, so you may hear some bird noises, okay. So if you're wondering what's going on, that's the situation going on here. But just let me explain what we're going to be working into today in this class. So lots of people talk to me about having a situation of unfiring glute muscles. What this can sometimes lead to is lower back achiness. Some people have had this looked at by their physio, their chiropractor. Maybe they've had recommendations that they should be starting to work the glutes a little bit harder. All sorts of things, okay? So what I'm going to do, again, I can't assess each and every one of you, but what I can do is just offer you some exercises to try and really find that the glute muscles will fire up better. Now, a lot of the time, okay, is to do with our posture, how well the body is functioning. Now, nearly all of us are slightly misaligned, okay? So nearly all of us have one leg slightly longer than the other. Maybe the hips are slightly shifted forwards, lots and lots of different things, okay? So it's not unusual. But what it can just mean sometimes is that we get into habits. So I'm going to come into our Pilates work when we start to think of finding a neutral back. So to begin with, I want you to relax your knees. I'm just going to do this from the side for you. And I just want you to send your hips all the way back. So you kind of put a little bit of an arch into your spine. And then I want you to pull it forwards. So you're pressing your hips forwards. And those of you who do Pilates, you recognise I do this from the floor. Okay, so I'm sending my hips backwards. So I've got this extra arch in my back. And then I'm sending it forward. So I'm squeezing my buttocks underneath me. Now neither are where we really want to be. But you may, your body may prefer a little bit of either of those. So where I want you to fall is into a neutral position. And I want you to feel that your ribs feel like they're floating down into your body. I want you to feel that your shoulder blades are floating down into your back, okay? Now, when we work into our glutes, I want you to try and keep this position of your torso. So drawing back a little into your core, okay, really feel that central line of your body, pulling up through the midline of your body. We're not going to really work with the breathing, but I do want you to work with a solid core centre. So from here, we're just going to very gently send our bodies to one side and start to push so that you're pressing one leg straighter and leaning. Now go the other way, press it over and lean. Okay, now this is important because I want you to keep that core switched on, and we're just moving from side to side at the moment. Because in a moment when I take the leg backwards, I want you to be able to find that centre, and I want you to still keep a neutral back. So at this point now, we've not lost what we just set up. All right, now bring it back to the middle, and now start to take one leg back. Just drift it back a little bit and then draw it back to the middle. Take the other leg, drift it back, point your toe, keep it on the ground and draw it back in. All right, so again, you already can feel that it's hard to keep the neutral back. Taking the leg back and then drawing it back in. All right, taking the leg back and drawing it back in. Now this time I'm going to take that leg back and I'm going to keep it back. Now realign your neutral. Relax your shoulders, open out with your collarbone. Now push out through so the toes are pointed behind you. Now again, keep your neutral. Now try and lift your leg up and lower it down. If you need something to hold on to, of course use your chair for balance. I just want you to see if you can lift the leg without changing your neutral position through your torso. So lift and lower. It's a very, very subtle, small movement. Lift the leg, lower it. And now you should be able to start to feel your buttocks firing, okay? And you want to feel them firing right in the belly of the muscle. All right, bring that leg in, okay? Hopefully you can feel a difference from one side to the other, although the standing leg does work quite hard as well. Take the other leg back, drift it back, okay? And then if you think that you may have changed your neutral, bring it back in, okay? Draw your ribs into your body, lift the chin, open the collarbone, point your toe, and then lift the leg up, lower it down. All right? Be careful not to lean forwards. Lift the leg up, lower it down. Can you see your tendencies? Because we've all got tendencies that we want to go to. Some people, if they have a supple back, they'll just go into lifting the leg and using the back. I want you to feel your back muscles are completely relaxed. All right? This is not to bring the back muscles in. All right? So you're just lifting that leg, lowering back. Okay? Very subtle, very small movements. But again, I want you to try and control it without swinging the back out. All right, bring it back in and loosen the legs off. Okay? So of course, sometimes you'll see a lot of exercises where the legs are coming up really high, okay, and they're lifting the leg up really high. What often is happening there is the lower back muscles are assisting the glute movement. All right, so it's important to try and recognize how we can switch certain bits off to make certain bits work harder. Now the second exercise I'm going to work into is to take your feet into first. Okay, so you've got to turn out. Now as we come up into our toes, I want you to squeeze your backside and pull up from underneath. Alright, so pull up into your glutes and then rise up just a little onto your toes. And then lower it back down. Alright, squeeze the backside nice and tightly, keep the inner thighs pulled up together and just rise up a little into your toes and release it back down. Okay, really, really subtle. Keep the buttocks squeezing on. Alright, now this is quite tricky in balance. I don't want you to worry about going any further. Alright, for some of you, this may not be enough. Okay, in which case, I'm going to go up and I'm going to bring my heels together and then I'm going to squeeze up again. Alright, so I'm up on my toes and I go the other way. So I'm going to draw down with the heels and then squeeze up. Still trying to keep the inner thigh muscles pulled up together and lift. So lowering down through the heels and lift. Keep the collarbone open, keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the core locked on. Pull up from the pelvic floor. Keep the knees pulled up together and lower. Alright, so you're either rising from the floor or you're coming up and going down. Alright, heels coming up together is going to be a little bit harder. Keeping the heels together is going to be a little bit harder. Alright, so if you need to make it easier, let the heels separate a little bit. It'll still work. Alright, you may be feeling a little bit of tension coming around the groin area. And lower. That's only going to show you where the strength lies and where you could be working a little bit harder. Squeeze up and lower. So you could, these last couple of exercises, you could do these, all right? But like I say, it's coming in and recognizing what you're using. All right, bring it back down and just give your legs a little bit of a shake off. Okay? Now, the next exercise is all about working into lunge work, okay? But lunge work in a specific manner. So I'm going to step forwards with my right foot. Actually, if I do it side on, this will be better. I'm going to step forwards with my right foot. Okay, now from here, I'm going to push back into my back heel so I get the calf stretch. And then I'm going to move forwards. So I'm in a diagonal line with the back of my body, okay? And then just stay here, leaning it in, so you should be able to feel your buttocks working really hard in your right leg. All right, stay for me, breathe, and then ease it on back. Good, let's do that again. So coming forwards, try and take your body diagonally forwards. Lean in, push back into the back heel, and then come back. Now this is enough, I don't want you to go any further, okay? So in the next stage, we're leaning in And then we're bending up the back leg and lifting it up and down. And lifting it up and down. So now you should feel you're really firing up the glutes into that right leg. Alright, keep going if you can. Alright, and if at any point you need something to hold on to, you could. Alright, but like you said, you can see, you can do this without anything, but you could hold on to something. Alright, so leaning it in, keep bringing the body forwards, kick it up, bend the standing leg quite deeply, 2 more, and back, 1 more, and take it down. Okay? Change sides. Okay, so these come into kind of physio kind of exercises. You know, there's the kind of stuff that they're going to be very specific to a certain part of your body. So from here, we're leaning forwards, bending into the knee, taking your body diagonally forwards. All right, so again, to get that straight line through your body and hold it. Breathe. Just natural breath. I just don't want you to be holding your breath, but just really trying to find where the glutes are working, right to the top of your, into the buttock. Bring it back. Just take it easy there for a moment. And then come forwards again. Bend the knee, lean forwards, like you're trying to win the race, okay? You're getting a calf stretch in the back leg, which is a nice little counter to everything that we're doing as well. Nice little add-on. All right, bring it back. So you can either do that again, all right, if you find the next bit a little bit challenging, but we're coming forwards again, leaning in, all right, steady your balance, start to bring that back leg up, keep the front knee as bent as you can, and heel back and lower. Heel back and lower. And again, so you're balancing on one foot, we're leaning forwards, we bring the heel in, taking it back a little bit, okay? That's it, bending the knee and the heel, the back leg is going up towards your bottom. Okay, so leaning in, diagonal angle, so you've still got the angle with your upper body, and then you're pressing up and back, up and back. All right, come on back in, shake it back out, and we're going to do all of that again. Whew. All right, so, all right, so now you know what you're looking for, okay, so I want you to, really take hold of this. All right, so shoulders back, neutral pelvis, neutral ribs. Take back your right leg. All right, readdress any changes that you can feel happening. Squeeze your back side, point your toes on your back leg. Lift the foot just an inch off the floor and down. Lift it up and down. And again, press it up and down. Readdress any changes. You're going to feel changes happening all the time, aren't you? Maybe your back's going to want to arch. Okay, maybe your ribs are going to want to arch. All right, 2 more. Lift, lower. 1 more, lift. Try not to let the back come in. And release. All right, change it over. So again, find your neutral, relax your shoulders. Take the left leg back. All right, but again, as soon as you take the left leg back, be careful that you're not just throwing your hips backwards. Okay, pull it back up. Take that back leg and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Try not to bring the lower back muscles in. They don't want to get involved. All right, and quite often they will. All right, they'll try and really do a good job by you. They really want to help. All right, we want to try and switch them off. So keeping that neutral spine and really, again, drawing into the core. If your core is switched on, it will hold your body in a stable position. Often the core doesn't switch on because you're not in a neutral position with your body. All right, so it doesn't recognize that it should do. Lift and lower. We know this from Pilates. Lift and lower. 1 more. And down. So we now have this position coming in from first. All right, so the first one is that we squeeze the back side, the inner thigh muscles pull up, we're clenching the buttocks from underneath, And we're rising up onto the toes, the heels come apart, and we're lowering it back down. We're lifting up into the toes, keeping the buttocks squeezing, lowering it back down. And again, squeeze and lift, lowering it back down. And again, squeeze and lift. If you want that harder version, bring yourself up, move your heels together. Okay, keep them squeezing tighter. Drop your heels down, pull it up. Drop your heels down, pull it up. But keep squeezing, keep pulling into your core. Keep squeezing the backside from underneath. This position is, in fact, I've heard this termed as smiling buttocks, because the creases of your bottom should just be coming up to the sides. All right, you should be able to feel that if you have a little feel around. Okay, lift and lower. One more. And lower. Okay, then stepping your right foot forwards. And again, like you're winning the race. So leaning forwards. Okay, now again, I'm going to go straight into the heel lifting behind. Keep the body leaning forwards. Stay in that position. Find balance. Lift. Now draw the heel in and heel kick it out. Drawing in, heel kick it out. And again, pull it up and lower. And again, pull it up and lower. Kick it back and lower. Two more. Heel kick and lower. One more. And lower. Come back up. Swap your legs over. Alright, so you've got a little bit of a calf stretch coming in. Tilt the body forwards, lean on in. Already you can feel the glutes kicking into the left leg. Alright, take a little bit, brace your core, okay? And then lift the back leg, heel flicks in and back. Heel flick in, take it back. Pull in, back, keep the core locked on. Heel in and back. And again, press and back. Two more. Good, one more. And bring it all of the way back up. Good. Okay. All right, now so far, we've been working into glute maximus. All right, so we've been working into the main belly of the muscle. Okay, now I'm going to bring you down onto the floor next. You're going to be pleased to know. Okay, so if you just need to tilt your device a little bit just so that you can see me. I'll do it also so that you can see us. And come on down. All right, I'm glad to get off the floor a little. Glad to get off your feet a little bit. All right, now the next one I'm going to work into, I'm going to take you around onto your belly first of all. Again, we've done lots of this in Pilates before. We're going to lift up alternating legs. But again, now you recognise how much you could be using your lower back. I want you to switch into just using your buttocks. We are then going to do an exercise for the lower back. All right, so there's going to be two things going on here. So I'm coming onto my belly. I'm just going to take my hands in underneath my forehead. Again, classic glute work. We've done a lot of this in the past. So if you can point your toes on both of your legs, press the legs away from you. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, raise one leg, but extend the leg away. It doesn't need to be a high lift. Breathing into lower. So pull your belly away from the ground. Breathe out, lift. Breathe into lower. But try and notice if you're lifting and you're leaning to one side. All right, because ideally we don't need to, do we? Because if we're making the buttock work, we don't need to push from side to side. So as you lift the leg up, breathe out, point your toes, squeeze and press, breathing into lower. And again, breathing out, squeeze the backside, pull the belly back, lift the leg, breathing into lower. And also I want you to notice here that you're not using your back. All right, if your back is firing, you're trying to lift the leg too high. All right, it's not about height, it's about pressing away. Try and imagine you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your toe. And breathing into lower. Now again, if this is enough, I don't want you to go any further. The next stage would be a double leg lift. So in this case now, I'm going to clench my buttocks as if I've got a £50 note between the two buttocks. And then as I pull in, I'm squeezing as tightly as I can, breathing out and lifting both of the legs, breathing in and letting go completely. So again, squeeze the backside as tightly as you can, pull the belly back, lift, and breathing in, letting it go completely. And again, squeeze the backside, fire, 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 pull up through the belly, squeeze, lift the legs, breathing in as you lower. And again, squeeze, pull up, breathe out, lift, 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 squeeze up as tightly as you can. Breathing in as you lower. We'll have 2 more of those. Squeeze the backside, belly pulls up, lift. Breathing in to lower. 1 more time. Squeeze, 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 belly pulls up. Lift the legs just a little bit off the floor. And then releasing it back down. Now bringing your arms all the way down by your side. The next position we're going to work into is breaststroke from Pilates. Now after we have done this, I'm going to offer up slightly harder lifts. If at this point your back feels like it's working like crazy, I really don't want you to take it on to the next stage, okay? Work this position. It's a really good position for building up your strength, okay? If I also say though, I'd like 70% of this lift to come from your core and 30% to be lower back strength work, all right? So try not to take it all into the lower back if you can help it. But again, if you're not used to working into your core, this could be quite difficult at the moment. So first of all, letting the shoulders go. And as we breathe in, we're rolling back both of the shoulders. As we breathe out, raise your upper body, engage your core, but try not to clench your buttocks here. Breathing in and then breathing out. So I want you to find the difference, between what we're doing. Breathing in, rolling back the shoulders. Breathing out, engage your core. Raise your upper body, but the buttocks are switched down. Breathe in at the top, and then breathing out, lowering your shoulders back down. Breathing in, shoulders roll back and down. Breathing out, engaging your core as you lift. Breathing in to stay. And then breathing out, lowering and shoulders gently releasing. Breathing in, shoulders rolling back. Breathing out, engaging your core as you lift. Breathing in to stay. And breathing out. Alright, so if you were finding it really hard to switch your glutes off, do a little bit more of that for me, okay? It's really great as well for your posture, okay, for your postural muscles. Now the next stage, okay, for those of you who have all of this already, I'm going to work a 3-point position with the arms. So have a little look at this first. So I've got my arms firstly in a cactus position. So my elbows are in alignment with my shoulders and my palms are facing down. Then as I raise up, I'm breathing out and I'm holding. Okay? Then from here, I'm going to take my arms out to the side like an aeroplane and breathing in and out, holding. And then the last one, I'm going to reach up towards the top, okay? Breathing in and out, holding, and then lowering it back down. So if you can't do it all in one go, split it down. Have breaks in between. I don't mind, all right? This is your little, experience of practicing a little bit more, maybe deeper back strength work, all right? So please don't worry. Take it at your own pace. For those of you who are going to come through with me, okay, engage your core. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, raise your upper body and raise your elbows off the ground in your palms. Now start to take your arms out to an aeroplane position, so your hands are in alignment with your shoulders. Breathe in and out, buttocks are relaxed. Taking your arms up and ahead of you. And again, hold it, keep your chin tucked in, look down. Breathing in and breathing out. And then take your hands all the way back down to where we started and lower your head down. Alright, so again, you know what's going on. If this is already quite hard, maybe don't do too many repetitions. Again, engaging with your core, raising your upper body and hovering the hands up from the floor. And stay, breathing in and breathing out. Let's take the arms out to the side. And again, stay, try and keep the buttocks relaxed, keep the legs relaxed, breathing in and out, but still keeping the core locked on. Bring your arms up and ahead of you. And again, keeping the core locked on, breathing in and breathing out. And bring your elbows down and gently lower yourself back down. Okay, we're going to do that one more time if you feel okay with it. So again, engage your core, pull the belly back, starting to lift, raising your palms from the floor, breathing in and breathing out. Starting to take your arms out to the side like an aeroplane, and breathing in and breathing out, and bringing your arms up and ahead of you. And hold, breathing in and breathing out. And now just take your elbows down. So I'm going to come up into cobra work. So this, after you really use those back muscles, should work quite nicely for you. So I've got my forearms down to the floor, and as I come up with my upper body, I'm drawing upwards, looking forwards, and then releasing back down. Alright, so I'm on my forearms still. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out as you lift, and breathing in to lower. Breathing out as you lift, breathing in to lower. Now you may want to stay on your forearms today, or some of you might be okay on your palms, in which case you're coming up a little higher, breathing out to lift, and breathing into lower. But again, remember, we're not being heroes about this. We're being sensible. We're thinking about our bodies. We're thinking about what our body is able to work into today. And breathing in as you lower. Again, breathing out to lift. Notice, are your glutes clenching with this one? Okay. And releasing. All right. One more. Lifting. And releasing all of the way back down. Okay, gently bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. And we're going to release the back out here. So taking your fingers just slightly off the side of your mat. Alright, so we're in a hide position here. And we're going to come out just into this exaggerated cat stretch. As we come down through the middle, a little bit of an arch through the spine, and we're letting the elbows go back. As we come up, tucking the head underneath and taking that big stretch up through the middle of your back. Now again, as we go down, the elbows go back of the body, chest comes through. As we come up, tucking the head down and stretching up through the middle of your upper back. Again, as we come down, easing through. As we draw up, pulling up. One more time, coming down, elbows going back of the body. And now pulling on up, drawing all of the way up and through. And then releasing it back and sitting back to your heels for me. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of work for glute medius. Okay, now this is another area of your buttocks feeding up towards your lower back. I'm going to do this in your clam position today, okay, or your oyster position. So popping yourself over onto your side, and we're propping the head up. And then we're bringing the knees to come forwards of your body, and then have your big toes touching. Okay, now it's not the most dignified position you've ever done in your life, alright, but it's really going to get into the area that we're looking for. So as we press the top knee backwards, breathing out, and breathing in to lower it back. Breathing out to draw the knee back, breathing in. So the target area here, one of the target areas, is at the back upper part of your buttock, okay? As you press backwards, breathe out. As you lower down, breathe in. As you press back, breathe out, engage your core, breathing in. And now, also the side product here is that you're working your inner thigh muscles as well. Working all the way around that groin area too. So breathing out, keep the big toes touching. Just saw Tina's leg floating up there. I was like, where's that going? Okay, so just keeping the big toes touching, breathing in. It's quite, again, quite subtle. All right, breathing out to press back, breathing in. I say subtle, all right, after you've done about 10 of these, it's not subtle anymore. And breathing into lower. Again, breathing out to press back, breathing into lower. Again, breathing out to press it away, into lower. And again, engaging your core, into lower. And again, breathing out, press back, into lower. 2 more here, please. Breathing out and breathing in. 1 more time, breathing out and breathing in. All right. Whiz round to the other side for me, please. So propping those knees forwards. Have your big toes touching. Okay, and then as you press the top knee backwards, breathing out, breathing in as you lower. And again, breathing out, engaging the core, breathing in as you lower. Again, breathing out to press away, in as you lower. Again, it's one of those positions that sneaks up on you, okay? You start off fine, thinking, oh, this is fine, I can do this one, okay? And then after a few, you really start to feel it, all right? So if that's what you're going through, you're not imagining it. That is exactly what happens. Breathing into lower. Again, breathing out to press back, breathing into lower. And again, breathing out, pressing away, breathing into lower. And again, breathing out, press it back, into lower. And again, breathing out, press it away, into lower. Can we have 2 more there, please? Breathing out, into lower. 1 more. And releasing back down. Good. Okay, now coming around onto your hands and knees. Now, if you have knee issues, okay, and I think I have somebody here who does, all right, so you're not going to appreciate this at all. So instead, I'd like you to go onto your back and do the figure of 4 stretch that we're going to do later, okay, so we are going to do that as well. But I'm going to go into pigeon from here. So I'm taking my right knee up towards my right hand. All right, but understand, please don't do this if it's very uncomfortable for your knee. Now, coming back a little bit, I'm going to work today on being down, all right? So I'm not going to worry about the quad stretch today. What I can offer here, for those of you who think that you may already know what this is going to feel like, we can offer that we take the foot higher so that it goes a little bit more horizontal across the top of your mat, okay, in front of you. And then you can lower your body down. And that should give you a deeper stretch into the glutes, all right? If you've gotten there and you think you've really over-egged this position, okay, then just drop the heel down a little bit more. Alright, gently bring the body back up. And we're going to swap the legs over for you. So bringing through that left leg, okay, inching it up a little bit higher if you can. Okay, and then gently bringing your body downwards. over your thigh, over your calf, sorry. Lowering yourself through. So keep breathing. Alright, keep letting go. Alright, now let's gently bring the body back up again and let the back leg come around. Okay, so again, some of these cross over from what we did last week, okay, when we did the happy hips, okay, because again, it's quite a similar area. Now if you take one foot towards the inside of your inner thigh, again, be careful if the knee is not happy with the bending today. And then we're going to draw across, opposite arm towards your opposite leg. Now this is to stretch out your lower back. So this is coming into your quadratus laborum area, okay, just above your buttock. So we're stretching over, reaching over for the knee, the shin, the ankle or your foot. And you're wrapping your hand around the furthest part of your leg or your foot that you can find today. And then drawing your head down. And let's gently bring that body back up again and swap legs. Okay, so again, let's draw across, reaching over for the knee, the shin, the ankle or your foot, and bring your head down. And drawing the body back on up. Okay, coming into seated twist. So bending up your right leg, take your right leg over your left leg. If you're okay with it, we're going to pop this left leg just up to the side of your right buttock. Okay, and then from here, left arm to right knee. Hugging the knee in and looking over your right shoulder. If it's not enough, take your elbow across or bind. Go in underneath your knee, find your fingers and twist. But you should be able to feel the stretch coming through your hips and into your buttocks. Letting it go, and let's go the other way. So bending up the left leg, taking left over right, and then popping through that right leg just to sit by your buttock if you can. Alright, then from here, drawing across your right arm to your left knee, pulling it gently in towards you, lifting your body up into a tall seated position. And then if you want to take it a little bit further, you could take your elbow across. Okay, or you could bind, you could go underneath the knee, and if you're not quite reaching through with your fingers, you could use a sock or something, just until your arms feel like they've gotten long enough to reach through. You've got a whole length of your back and your neck stretching through with this one. And then let's gently release it back on out. Okay, I'm going to bring you down onto your back. Okay, carefully bring yourself down. And if we could take the right ankle upon the left thigh, and then picking up both of your feet. Alright, so you have one on top of the thigh already. Now from here, you could either hold on to your left hamstring, or you could hold on to your left shin. Now because we've done quite a lot of stretch work already, Some of you might be able to go that little bit further today, in which case I'm going to scoop off that leg. I'm going to scoop off the right leg, and then we can hold it. We can wrap our arms around it and hold it. Some of you might be able to put your foot into the crook of your elbow, and then your other elbow around the outside. Wherever you go though, if you can, flex your right foot. And then let's release that leg all the way back off, and let's change legs. So pop on your left ankle to your right thigh, pick up both of your legs, okay? And then at that point, if you already know this is enough, okay, you can hold on to your hamstring or hold on around your shin. But if you think you could go a little bit further today, scoop off the leg, hold it in towards you, maybe take the elbows around the outside, flexing out your foot and drawing the leg in towards you. And then let's release that leg back out. Slide down your left leg and hug your right knee in towards you. Flex your foot, okay, and then reach around and hold on to your right heel with your right hand. And then if you can, draw the knee back and down. So it's like half a happy baby. And then let go with the leg a little bit, but take it with your left hand, okay? Draw the knee across the body. Alright, now the option with this one, okay, you can either hold on to it with your knee bent, or if you feel more flexible today, you can hold on to it with your left hand and your leg comes straight. Let that leg down and bring it back in. Okay, slide it down, bend up the left leg, okay, bring it in towards you and then start to draw the knee towards your armpit. Take your left hand around your left heel and then draw your knee downwards towards your armpit if you can. Alright, bring that leg in and then hold on with your right hand and draw your knee across your body. And again, you've got the option here to keep the knee bent or straighten the leg all the way back out. Alright, and then if you let that leg down, place your feet back down to the floor, gently roll to one side and bring yourself back up to seated. And last one here, I do this all the time in my yoga and my Pilates classes, but we're going to go in and under, and I'd like to see if you can find your elbows, okay, and then pull back a little and sink your lower back away from you. Draw back out. And now if we go to just holding on by your fingers underneath your knee, and then again we slide it back a little bit more. This time it's just below your neck. But if you wriggle down a little bit, you can still get the whole length of your back to stretch. Okay, and then turn the fingers to hold the other way round, and then draw back. Alright, bring the body back up, okay? Coming around to a seated position of your choice, the legs can be straight out in front of you, okay? And let's from here, just take a nice deep breath in together. And as you breathe out, open your body, try and feel your lower back muscles holding you up, which would be amazing if they were, okay? Breathing in. Breathing out, all the way back down, opening out with your chest. And one more time, take a deep breath in, breathing out, releasing the shoulders. All right. Now, of course, I know there are hundreds and hundreds of glute exercises, glute stretches. I may not have covered your favourites today, okay? But hopefully you do feel a little bit worked in that area. Maybe you feel a little bit more stretched out in that area, all right? So the idea and purpose of these little mini classes is just to maybe try and explore something that you don't usually do. All right, I hope you've enjoyed what you've been doing. If enjoyment is the word, okay? And certainly feedback, okay? I love feedback. Just tell me what you're thinking or ask me what I was thinking, okay? Drink some water, all right? And I will see you again as soon as you can come back to something else that I'm doing. I'll take you off mute. So if anybody's got any